7. Barrett outside the switch. Doncic goes on.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well. Knicks fans, I know you guys are excited as the New York Knicks just came out with their 7th win in a row at Madison Square Garden, 109-97 up against the Charlotte Hornets. If you did not know, the Charlotte Hornets were on a 5-game winning streak up against us at Madison Square Garden. Of course, latest example, Frank Ntilikina helping too much outside on the perimeter and leaving a Devontae Graham wide open for a big-time clutch shot for the Hornets to come out victorious. But let's also look at the realistic side of things. Gordon Hayward out in this basketball game. LaMelo Ball out in this basketball game. So this was a very winnable game. But let's be real. This was not a game the Knicks would win in the past. Like, they wouldn't win these winnable types of basketball games. This is a game they would lose. But at the end of the day as well, the Knicks were a bad basketball team for the past 5, 10 years, past 20 years, you could say, but they're extremely competitive. You could say they're definitely the second half basketball team that's not going to give up, and they're going to try their best and play very hard for 48 minutes, and they're going to try their best to close out games. But yeah, just from the start, you just take a look at this team of Charlotte, young basketball team. Of course, Devontae Graham actually came back from an injury. You have PJ Washington, who's a streaky young player. Of course, he had a game earlier in the season, played over 40 minutes, 0 points, but that was not the case tonight. Devontae Graham, we know he's really streaky and inefficient. They actually had a rookie starting, Vernon Carey Jr., who was actually solid coming out of Duke. Wasn't really a lottery pick. He is this big man who actually went on to start. Cody Zeller came off the bench, and you actually had Jalen McDaniels start in this game as well for the Charlotte Hornets. So they had some young players, but starting off in this game, we're flamethrowing from downtown. If it was a Reggie Bullock, if it was an RJ Barrett, of course, he started off hitting the first 3, really cooled off after that in the first half of this basketball game. Reggie Bullock, Peyton, RJ Barrett. Of course, RJ hit that 3 like I said. But yeah, Bullock's been good since the All-Star break in my opinion. He's been very efficient from downtown, and I really like the brand of basketball, how he just came out on fire. I believe we had like 5 3-pointers in the first 3 minutes. It was just absolutely unbelievable to see. Noel doing a good job protecting the rim. We know he's not going to bring much offensively, but geez, he's been a freaking anchor, and I really hope we bring him back. Julius Randle, he hit some difficult shots, but I really didn't like the style of play Julius Randle brought out there in that first half. I know he's our number 1 option, so pretty much if he's not scoring, we're kind of screwed. We're going to need a guy of RJ to step up. We're going to need a Rose. We're going to need a Quickly to step up huge off the bench. Randle did do a solid job scoring, but it wasn't the most efficient scoring. He kind of was very ball dominant, in my opinion. But I actually kind of didn't like that we're hitting these threes, because this is what the Hornets wanted us to do. They wanted us to play this fast brand of basketball because they know our identity is it's not shooting from downtown. It's a slow, grinded out style of play. We're last in pace. We're going to really kill you with our defense, and we're going to make you feel uncomfortable if it's in a bunch of different scenarios. We're going to put our players in the best position to be successful on the defense side of the basketball. If it's playing the passing lanes, playing up close on you on defense. But yeah, that was the case in the first half of this game. We actually did start off really strong, but then PJ Washington was amazing in the first half of this game. I believe he had 21 points. He was killing us from downtown. Terry Rozier, we know his ability to really penetrate off the dribble, of course, and get to the rack, hitting difficult shots. He's just an unbelievable scorer of the basketball. You may not look at him as a true point guard, kind of like a Colin Sexton, but he can get hot in a hurry. Luckily, Devontae Graham was not great in this basketball game. We know his shot selection could be erratic. We know a guy, Miles Bridges, could be inconsistent as well, even though he did have a good second half of this game. But the main X factor of this first half was RJ Barrett was just horrendous. I believe he was 1 for 8. He didn't make a shot until I believe he opened up the game with that 3-pointer, or it might have been the second shot. I'm trying to remember at the top of my head. I believe the 3-pointer was from the right wing. But yeah, his shots were just not going down. If it was from downtown, whatever it was. I wasn't really worried, of course, but I kind of was at the same time, because a 7th win in a row was in jeopardy. Because if you want to win this game, you need everyone to really produce. Like, if it's just Randle, most likely you're not going to win. You need guys like of Quickly coming off the bench. You need Derrick Rose to hit timely shots. You need RJ to initiate that contact, get to the free throw line, score the freaking basketball. But yeah, I like the way Bullock played in the first half. I love the way Derrick Rose came off, brought us that spark, scoring the basketball, because we're going to have our droughts there and there. But Quickly was freaking amazing. Quickly bursted through that rookie wall. There was one specific play, he had like a million behind the backs, and he just freaking threw up a prayer, and I was like, what the hell was that? And it went in. It was just so amazing to watch. And another player that's kind of like an unsung hero of this Knicks season is Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson's been playing some fantastic defense. I believe he's 35 years of age, brings really good veteran leadership. He's very vocal out there on the court, and he really does a good job commanding the troops. But yes, he's been playing out of position the last couple years in his NBA career, but he does such a great job boxing out, really positioning himself underneath, getting these offensive rebounds, just being one of these old school types of bigs who I really think would have thrived in the 90s. I didn't get to watch 90s basketball, but he definitely is that really grinded out, plays hard basketball player. But yeah, the main storyline was amazing the first half. I believe he had 17. Obi Toppin, of course, he's been underwhelming this season, but it also, like, even though he's been bad, it's really hard to get really into the flow of things when you play like 9 to 10 minutes a game. And he was atrocious defensively, don't get me wrong, but he actually did have a nice move out of the post. Like, he was patient. Like I broke down in my video, if he's patient in the post, he's going to be a solid player. It's going to open up things, and he's really going to recognize the floor. But he actually had a nice hook shot, like, in his arsenal in the first half of that basketball game. But yeah, we actually were down 6. We weren't doing the best of job guarding the perimeter, and that really scared me. The Hornets were really getting into this flow of shooting from downtown. We were starting to not really box out. But the third quarter, freaking amazing. RJ Barrett, good defensive play. We were just making good defensive play after good defensive play, getting stops, going on a huge run. I believe we opened up on like a 9-0, 10-0 run. RJ Barrett, like I said, had good defense, guarding McDaniels, getting to the rack. We did a good job getting timely buckets in the third quarter, scoring when it mattered most. Like I said, he was 1 for 8 in the first half, 3 points. In the second half, or in the third quarter, 18 points. 18 points for RJ Barrett. He was lights out. I believe he only missed 1 shot. He was 7 of 8 from the field. He was 5 of 6 from downtown. He was just brilliant, just getting to his spots and knocking down shots from downtown. You could just see just constantly the work he's been putting in translating to the game. If it's in rhythm threes, off balance, knocking them down, his mechanics have just gone so much better. Of course, I made that whole video on RJ Barrett and how his mechanics really changed, picking up with his mechanics from, of course, during the pre-draft process, picking him up with Drew Hanlon. If you did not know, his mechanics were totally different his rookie year, but they look more smooth. They look like he's more in rhythm, jumping into his jump shots. Of course, we'd like to see him improve off the dribble, but he was amazing, played good defense in the third quarter at least. Actually, like, he sometimes does have the plays that he gets cut, destroyed back door, actually. Pause on that one. But yeah, he hit some big-time timely threes in the third quarter, and we needed a guy of RJ Barrett to step up huge because we couldn't just ask Julius Randle and Quickly, especially because Quickly's a rookie. They're eventually going to make adjustments to him on the defense side of the basketball. And another thing, I thought the Knicks did a really, really good job keeping PJ Washington in check in the second half. If you did not know, the Hornets were 13 of 19 from 3, shot over 50% from the field. So did we, but our defense was absolutely atrocious. But luckily, we only allowed 31 points in the second half, which is just amazing by the Knicks defense. They started to really play discipline. Like I said, Randle was playing this hero ball, but he did a better job distributing in the second half. He really understood it wasn't my night. He's still gonna have moments though that he may shoot a wild shot because he really wants to get the momentum going and he wants that feeling of hitting a very difficult shot. But he actually did a better job passing out of double teams, because sometimes he really has those moments. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this guy really needs to learn how to pass out of double team, like out of a double team, and make the right read. One play, RJ was wide open, but he made the wrong read and threw it to Bullock, who was like kind of contested. But I'm like, RJ, he's been lighting it up in the second half. You got to be better with that, Randle. But yeah, I can't be mad at Randle. He's been amazing this season. Did a good job distributing the basketball. He made this one very difficult play, my windows being annoying, it's really windy outside, that he was underneath like the basket, and he somehow whipped it to RJ in the corner. But yeah, I definitely got to give credit to Randle when it comes to passing the basketball in the second half of this game. We just came to play. There was a question mark, or big time question, like, why did Tom Thibodeau have Knox in that fourth quarter? That really confused me, and that really got the Hornets like to kind of build some momentum, because we know Knox is gonna get beat back door. He threw up a just terrible air ball actually after a good feed by RJ Barrett, getting the defense to collapse. But yeah, again, RJ, good job hitting threes from the outside, coming off the screen, knocking down a shot from mid-range territory, which I would definitely like to see him shoot more. You could really tell he's working on that. But yeah, eventually we started leaving guys outside on the perimeter again, and the Knicks scare happened after being up double digits. Just not boxing out as well. Miles Bridges just had a ferocious dunk. We know how athletic he is. But eventually, Derrick Rose timely shots. RJ Barrett another timely shot from the corner like we saw in the Raptors game and games like past, of course, big time threes against the Atlanta Hawks. But yeah, we do have the Atlanta Hawks next. The New York Knicks come out victorious, only allow 31 points in the second half, or at least when the game like really mattered most. Let me know down below your thoughts. Were you really pleased with how RJ Barrett performed in the second half? Have you been pleased with Bullock since the All-Star break? He's just been lights out for the New York Knicks. He's still going to have inconsistent moments, but let me know down below your thoughts, and peace out, y'all. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Payne. Is there much to talk about? Played solid defense. We know what he brings to the table. Peace out, y'all.